G'day everyone. So around 20 years ago, the portion of track between Bendigo and Inglewood was closed, and on that line lay a lot of railway crossings, one of which being the out of use level crossing on the Calder Alternative Highway in Marong. So this crossing was upgraded in the early 2010s as part of the Boom Gates for Rail Crossings project. But yeah, so it received new equipment, but the crossing hadn't seen a train for it hasn't seen trains for 20 years. So they upgraded the crossing, but there were no trains coming. So now the crossing has turned into a bit of a wreck. Anyway, this is footage that I took on the 3rd of April. So hope you enjoy. G'day everyone, it's Trains on Toast here, and I'm in Marong, which is a town just west of Bendigo. And there's an old railway line here which has a level crossing. This was one of several crossings to be prioritised to get boomgate upgrades several years ago, but ever since the crossing was updated, it has never seen a train. In fact, it hasn't seen a train in nearly 20 years as the line towards Bridgewater from Bendigo was closed. But it has a fancy installation with Westinghouse lights, a safe train e-bell, safe train gates, a white and black stop and red signal sign, and a white crossbuck. This side also has the white crossbuck and Westinghouse lights and a white and black stop and red signal sign. The old look for train sign remains here, which is interesting. You can see the crossing over here, and down there is the track towards Bendigo. There's another crossing on the Calder Highway that also was prioritised and got boom gates, but I heard they've since been removed. This road is actually reasonably busy that crosses, as it kind of bypasses Bendigo, so a lot of people use it to get towards Bridgewater, Inglewood and even Mildura. So it's actually reasonably busy. I will show off some of the equipment on the other side now. When you cross over, it still has the old tactiling, and the tactiling on here definitely worn off. So lots of nice trees surrounding the crossing and all the windy fences. I even saw some people look both ways at the crossing because they didn't know it was out of use. There's the old look for train sign, although you can't really tell in the sun, and the cyclist just an out sign. And on this side, there's lots of trees, part of the Marong township. Pretty nice. This side has also got some similar equipment with Westinghouse lights and a white crossbuck of 2 slats of metal and the crossing sign. And over there is the safe tram, e-bell, and the railway side of the crossing sign. And I'm also going to go over there across. This is a sign that you'll see in a lot of places, the Boom Gates for Rail Crossings project. They put signs all around the crossings that they upgraded with boom gates, and this crossing was likely upgraded assuming that the trains would run. So the Boom Gates for Rail Crossings project was a project from the early 2010s that upgraded dangerous regional crossings with boom gates. This crossing was likely upgraded thinking that the line might reopen, but it never did, unfortunately, especially after there was significant damage to the infrastructure of the line. On this side, the west side, there's Safe Tram Systems Corp gates that are flat gates, Westinghouse lights, Safe Tram e-bell, and a white crossbuck of 2 slats of metal. When you walk along old abandoned railway tracks, especially when they're grassy, look out for snakes. And you can see down there's another sign for what would have been a passive level crossing that you can kind of see all the way down the track for one of the roads that services Marong. This side, the west side, also still features its cyclist dismount and look for train signs. Anyways guys, thank you for watching. Goodbye.